Welcome to Fx-Football Explained. In this video we look at Scout Report, how Martin Ødegaard helped solve Arsenal's lack of creativity. He failed to convince the masses after an initial loan spell and was even labelled a mistake purchase by some upon his permanent return, but Martin Ødegaard is now realising his world-class potential in the Arsenal midfield and can be justly considered among the best players in the Premier League. The Norwegian maestro is central to the Gunners' improbable title charge this season and has supplemented ever-present creativity with a clinical edge. 8 strikes and 6 assists in 18 league appearances mark his best numbers since a temporary stint at Eredivisie outfit Vitesse Arnhem in 2018-19 and prove his aptitude for the role of orchestrator in a devastating Arsenal attack. Such proficiency only provides a glimpse of Ødegaard's astonishing offensive skill set as he uses impressive awareness to find gaps in the opposition backline and can fashion goal-scoring chances with a single deft touch. Meanwhile, his contributions in the recent North London derby indicate he is also partial to a long-range pile-driver when given the opportunity. However, it is his all-round nature that makes Ødegaard stand out from the Premier League crowd, and his commitment to the defensive cause forms an equally important part of Arsenal's winning formula. The captain initiates our collective press from the front and works tirelessly to hound defenders in the final third, yet still manages to track back and often recovers possession deep in his own half. Aside from obvious sporting merit, our number 8's league best contention is buttressed on a personal level as he boasts admirable character and shows extraordinary leadership when it matters most, positive qualities that were perhaps honed during his protracted rise to stardom. Attributes. The 22-year-old midfielder grew up playing football in his homeland, Norway. After spending 4 years under the tutelage of his father at Drammen Strong, a local sports club, Ødegaard joined the youth academy of top-tier club Strømsgodset. He spent 5 more years in the youth divisions there, garnering attention and accolades from all over the country and beyond. He started training with the first team when he was just 13, subsequently visiting Bayern Munich and Manchester United for training camps. Aged 15, Ødegaard made his senior debut. Soon, he scored his first senior goal and even travelled on a European expedition for a Champions League qualifying round match. In December 2014, he visited Liverpool, Bayern, and Arsenal on further training camps, but he would join Madrid a month later. He had some difficulties in even settling with the reserves, but due to an injury crisis in the senior team, he made his debut in May 2015. After spending a couple of years mostly with the reserves, Ødegaard was loaned out to the Netherlands for 2 seasons, first to Heerenveen and then Vitesse Arnhem. Thereafter, he spent a season with Real Sociedad, where he impressed so much that Real recalled him to their senior squad at the end of 2019-20. However, as aforementioned, he hasn't been able to get a lot of game time this season, so a loan move seems to be the best option for him. Arsenal have seemingly sealed his signature ahead of Sociedad, so let's take a look at what he can bring to the club in this scout report. Playing style. Ødegaard started as a right winger, but has slowly evolved into a more traditional number 10 and can even play as an 8 in midfield. The fact that he started playing professional football at the age of 15 says all you need to know about his talent. He is exceptionally technically gifted. He is brilliant with the ball at his feet, and his speed of thought usually leaves opponents behind. David Silva, his replacement at Real Sociedad, can very much be compared to the Norwegian international. Strengths. Comparisons to David Silva are not loosely done, so Ødegaard is undoubtedly a man of many strengths. Creativity, of course, is one of his specialties. Last season, he got 6 assists, completed 2 key passes and 3.22 shot-creating actions per match on average in La Liga. In his time at Vitesse, that went up to 3.5 key passes with 12 assists. He is pretty handy during dead ball situations too, that's how 32.93% of his key passes in 2019-20 came about. Dribbling is another one of Ødegaard's strengths. Last season, he averaged 7.58 progressive carries per match while completing 67.02% of his dribbles. He was also only dispossessed 1.2 times per match on average. What might please Mikel Arteta the most, though, is Ødegaard's work rate without the ball. The lack of this was one of the reasons given for Mesut Ozil's fall out of favour, so Ødegaard could prove to be a harder working Ozil for Arsenal. Last season, he averaged 14.36 pressures per match. Ødegaard's creative genius comes into play only after he receives the ball in dangerous areas, which is why his smart positioning is another important part of his game. Weaknesses. Ødegaard is not bad at too much. After all, he was arguably the best midfielder in La Liga last season. If there is anything he is not very good at, it is aerial duels. Last season, he only won 0.3 per match, so he shouldn't be useful when defending set pieces. Many will question his failure to break into the Real Madrid 11 this season and perhaps imply that he still is a bit rough around the edges, but his season at Sociedad clearly proved that all he needs is regular game time to compete with the best of the best. So, the Norwegian playmaker might take a while to settle at Arsenal, but, once he does, he will very hard to stop. Role at Arsenal. As aforementioned, Ødegaard can play on the right wing or as a number 8, but his favoured role is that of a number 10. Arsenal have used a variety of systems this season, starting with a 3-4-3 which transitioned into a sort of a 4-2-1-2 in possession and recently moving to a more conventional 4-2-3-1. Their newest playmaker could fit in either system. Since Arsenal have been using the 4-2-3-1 of late, it is easy to assume that Ødegaard is most probably be competing with Emil Smith-Rowe for a starting position, but could also play on the right as discussed previously. However, that would put him slightly out of position, so if Arsenal wish to accommodate both of their creative talents, a 4-3-3 might be their best bet. Arteta has tried this a couple of times outside the Premier League, so here is how that would look with Ødegaard in the side. Multiple loan spells in Spain and the Netherlands, as well as the company of Los Blancos stars, have contributed to the 24-year-old's steely resilience and equipped him for the pressure of guiding a team to the domestic summit. Mikel Arteta commended this strong mentality earlier in the campaign as he praised Ødegaard's willingness to take the ball at difficult moments and tendency to step up at key junctures, with the August equaliser against Fulham just one example of his fortitude at a time of great adversity. There is stiff competition for the honour of best player in the Premier League, both from within the Arsenal squad and a certain Sky Blue compatriot, and the team's shared efforts deserve recognition for enabling our charge up the table. But Ødegaard's far-reaching influence is arguably the most telling ingredient and prompts consideration that he is in a league of his own. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.